Hello everybody, Andy here from Glass Half Dead, and I want to talk to you today, do a little review for you about Darktide, not the computer game. No, I don't play those apart from when I do always. I want to talk about the miniatures game. I want to talk about what it is, who it's for, is it worth it, all this sort of stuff, maybe even the price, which you guys probably already know, but I found out through nefarious means because I'm recording this early, obviously. Let's start with who this is for. Darktide The Miniatures Game, of which I have arrayed in front of me, and don't worry, we will go through all of the stuff here and what I think about it, etc. Also the game itself. Darktide is for people that have played the computer game, and I want to be really clear about that, because I don't know what the messaging for Warhammer community is going to sound like. I've seen one article on there so far, before I got this and sat down to record this. They've said that Kill Team will in some way be the next step for this Darktide board game. I now know what they mean by that, and we'll talk about that in a moment, but I don't know if they're going to do more articles, and in it they're going to say, oh, but you should definitely play it this way, or you could... So, obviously a lot of my fans are Kill Teamers. Let's get it straight right now. This is not a game for Kill Team players. It's not a game for 40k players. It's a real niche, buddy. This is a game that, in my view, is for two people, and that is people that like the Darktide computer game and are tabletop curious, or three people, solo players who want a quick little skirmishy thing that they can play very easily, or some other third type of person. People that want to bring new players into the game, perhaps. Because I think there's a nice little blend of, in the mechanics, I mean, there's a nice blend of just enough, like a little bit of crunch in the combat, but hexes are very friendly, the models are cool, etc, etc. So those are the three types of people. This is not a Kill Team product. If you already play Kill Team, you don't need this. Cool, right, moving on. I'll read this straight off my tablet. So if you're a Darktide player, I assume you're still here. We have our 4 heroes here, and they have canon names, actually. So let me tell you what those are, because these get listed out. Obviously, Darktide, you are supposed to be nameless, like dudes that die. However, the canon names here are, the veteran is Geren Arvand of the Cadian 2301st. The Psyker is Atrasia of House Margrave. The Ogrin is Gark. And the Zealot is Varys the Righteous. There you go. Right, let's continue, sorry. If you are into anything from Games Workshop, this game isn't for you. Okay, thank you. Good bullet point, Andy. Nice. When you read this, it is going to claim that it is a multiplayer game. Okay? It says right there on the box, this is a game for 1 to 4 players. In a very technical sense, this is a game for 1 to 4 players. This is a solo game through and through, genuinely. So all of the models, let me get... here we go. Like, this is our Mobian Trooper, right? You see here? We have a little behavior tree. Which I'm going to refer to as an AI. So this is, I think there was so little in this game for 4 players that you wouldn't really do it. You might do it as like 2 people and you're just messing around and you're just chatting. I don't think it feels that wrong. But as an individual, as a single person, I could see you doing it. For example, on my upcoming live stream on Tuesday, I'm thinking for the stream, I will play this live for you. Because why not, right? So you can see how it plays. I will be able to play it solo, but it's so uncomplicated that I can also talk to chat at the same time. I personally think that hex boards for movement are incredibly beginner friendly. At no point are you going to be flipping through a book. There's like 5 rules and it's very easy and you've got all your tokens, etc, etc. Very beginner friendly, which is exactly what you want for people that might be, as I suggest, are the optimum players, which are people coming over from the Darktide game and are tabletop curious. And I guess a final kind of note, there are no new models. I'm sure that if you're a GW guy, girl, whatever, you already know this. However, I'm going to pitch this as a good thing. If this had 20 all new awesome models, nobody, aka the intended target audience, would be able to pick this up. Let's be honest, we know GW's production capacity, you would never be able to find this. If it had 4 awesome new Imperiums, 16 brand new awesome Chaos Sculpts. So odd as it might sound, I think that is actually a good decision for who this product is aimed at, I suppose. Which I know, if you're a GW guy already, you're thinking, no, but I want new sculpts. I want to buy it. This isn't for you. Having said it's not for you, let's talk then. Hopefully you've built up an image of at least what I think, who this is targeted at. Now let's go through a few of those weird oddities, because clearly, to me, this is aimed at those people who are tabletop curious. It's a true beginner product. You've even got the coloured plastic to show you don't even need to hobby. Or is this just a very poorly aimed product? Let's discuss. So, coloured plastic, what does that normally mean? That normally means GW's aiming this at beginners. Cool. And what do? GW does push fit, so that you don't need clippers even. You don't need glue. You just snap it out and you put it together. And yes, us GW pros are going to say, oh, but what about the mold lines? What about the sprue gates? Blah, blah, blah. If you're brand new, it doesn't matter. Smash those things out, smash them together. That's a model. Okay, you've got all the slaughter bases already. This isn't this. This ain't it, bro. You need to go and buy glue because these are not push fit. You need to go and buy everything else, right? Now that's not an issue for me. Okay, I'm a seasoned veteran, if you will, about assembling models. So not a problem for me. But for everything else, that doesn't make any sense. These should have been push fit. Now let's have a little look at the accoutrements. So first things first, we get these. Okay, we get 4 double-sided kill zone tiles. Now, in a vacuum, I think these are quite nice. They've got nice artwork on them with nice and clear hexes. These are good. They are razor blade thin. If you're already a GW chap and you're thinking of, what do you think of? You're thinking Underworld, because these are incredibly similar to Underworld's boards. These are like half the thickness of an Underworld's board. These are, I'm going to say 2 mil. Maybe they're 3. But it's fine. In a sense, it's fine. I will say, I quite like these. These data cards are great. No complaints. They're exactly what you would expect from GW if you've picked up any kill team. Likewise, for all of this stuff here, the activation cards, all of your equipment, etc. These are also good. So I don't have an issue with the cards. It's mainly the card stock of the board and the tokens that I think could have just been pumped up a little bit, you know? And before we get into my other big gripe with it, I wanted to quickly touch on the activations. In what way does this game actually link into Kill Team? Because if we look at the old rulebook here, which I've already been through, and I've actually already written a how to play video. Whether or not I do that, I don't know. Really does depend on my enthusiasm at the time. But if you look at the back, it's telling you to go to Kill Team, right? And in fact, your heroes are not heroes. They're called Kill Teams. These guys are your Kill Team operatives. These are your Darktide operatives. These are your Kill Team operatives. They are exactly what you expect. There's nothing, there's nothing unexpected about them. They are exactly what you've already seen online. Here, for your Darktide, you get your blooded sprue, and it is just the 2 blooded sprues that you get. So if you want to build a blooded kill team, you can do that. You're not supposed to, in regards to what the box tells you to build, but it's just a blooded sprue. And you get 6 pox walkers, which we've already seen lots of pox walkers before. And these are all just the same. Now, look, again, yes, I would have loved all new sculpts, especially for the operatives, the kill team, the heroes. But I understand why they didn't. I get it. It was very lazy of them. I think that's fair to say. It is what it is. I'm kind of trying to appreciate what this is for who I think they're targeting it at. And so the fact there are no new models is irrelevant, because all models are new models for who they expect to buy this game. Okay? So that's not actually an issue for me. Cool. And again, coloured plastic, honestly, that solves a lot of ills for me. No issues. So, what kill team mechanics does it share? The only thing it really shares is, as we see here. So, notice, in what ways is this different to a kill team data card? You don't have your top lines of stats. You don't have APL, you don't have GA, you don't have save, you don't have anything like that. You just have melee and shooting. Stats have been the same. And that is all this game shares with Kill Team. So it shares shooting and fight mechanics with Kill Team. That's it. So when I make my, you know, chap here, fight this chap here, they both roll their, you know, 4 dice here, 4 dice there, and whoever attacked first gets to fight, make the first parry or strike. Crits still work exactly the same way, etc., etc. Shooting, again, exactly the same. So whoever, you know, you take the shot, they get 3 defense dice. All of the Darktide have a 5-up save. All of the kill teamers, operatives, have a 4-up save. So you don't need those stats on the card. That's just the default. The only difference, perhaps, and maybe this is something that's going to carry over to the next edition of Kill Team, you know, like, who knows, is that in the shooting, I don't think so. I think they just did this for simplicity's sake. For the shooting, you can't pair 2 regular saves to block a crit. There you go. That's it. Otherwise, it's all the same. Is that even how shooting works in Kill Team? I do like how they've done the activations. So you build your activation deck, and it will be, if you take your 4 heroes, then you would have, you know, your 1, 2, 3, 4 Kill Team operatives. And then all of the Darktides have their own individual models, which if you've built them exactly as it says in the book, they all are here, painted up in the nice Mobian colours. And then you shuffle that together and you draw it randomly, and whoever draws gets to go for make their activation. And if you are one of the 4 operatives, Kill Team operatives, you get 2 actions. You just decide what to do, you do it. If you are the AI, nobody controls you. You follow your behavior chart, which is pretty much what you'd expect. If you are able to make a shot on somebody, you make a shot. There you go, and then you pass. If you have to move before you do that, then you move, then you shoot. If you can't shoot after having made a move, you normal move, then you dash. There you go. All movement is 3 hexes. A dash is 1 hex. You know, it's all very... It's all good. Like, I have no complaints about the actual mechanics of the game. I think this is a fun little game. And I understand why they're pushing people towards Kill Team based off of it. I think that people that like this game are not inclined to like Kill Team. I think they're very different. Just because you know how attack and defense works is irrelevant. You'd probably want to push them more towards, you know, Blackstone Fortress, right? That's probably the next logical step, because this is basically a board game due to the hexes. Just because you like this doesn't mean you're going to like Kill Team, but if you like this, you're probably more inclined to like Blackstone Fortress. It is what it is. It is what it is. Hi everybody, Andy from the editing studio here. I just cut out a 12-minute rant about the production quality of GW here because it's not really relevant. Well, it's incredibly relevant to this particular Darktide game. That's why I went off on that rant, but I cut it out. If you want to know what I was going to say here, go and check out my live stream from last week on Tuesday. You can find it in the live tab on my channel, where I'm going to talk a little bit about some of the experiences I've had opening premium products from other like spheres of geekery compared to the premium product that Games Workshop gives us, and how those kind of compare. Okay, final words. Anyway, there you go. Those are my thoughts on Darktide The Miniatures Game. If you're into Darktide the computer game and you've never bought a tabletop game before, yeah, you can play this, I guess. Better yet, look at my other videos and you will find better games. Thanks.